The purple and gold jersey that has draped LeBron James' shoulders for years might not be the one he's wearing when he takes his final bow in the NBA. There's a narrative unfolding right now that every Lakers fan needs to understand, because the decisions being made in the coming months will shape not just this franchise's immediate future, but the legacy of the greatest player of his generation. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report, where you get the most updated news, breaking developments, and honest analysis about our beloved Lakers. This is your destination for everything purple and gold, where we cut through the noise and bring you the insights that actually matter. And today, I'm bringing you something that's going to challenge everything you thought you knew about LeBron's future in Los Angeles. Let me take you through something that's been building beneath the surface for weeks now. LeBron James is currently playing in his 23rd NBA season, a record that stands alone in league history and might never be matched by another player. 23 years of excellence, of evolution, of defying every expectation about what the human body can accomplish on a basketball court. But here's where the story takes a turn that I need you to really hear. Even though LeBron is not under contract with the Lakers beyond this season, everything we're seeing suggests that retirement isn't on his mind. The king isn't ready to abdicate his throne, and that creates a fascinating situation that we need to examine from every angle. The speculation around LeBron's future has reached a fever pitch, and I'm not talking about the usual offseason chatter that happens with every veteran player. This is different. We're talking about legitimate voices in the basketball world starting to paint a picture of what comes next, and that picture might not include the Lakers. I know that's difficult to hear for those of us who have watched LeBron bring championship glory back to Los Angeles, who have witnessed his brilliance night after night at Crypto.com Arena, who have seen him form that special connection with Lakers fans that transcends basketball. But we need to be adults about this situation and understand all the factors in play. DeMarcus Cousins, the former NBA star who has played alongside and against the best players of this generation, recently made some comments that sent shockwaves through the basketball community. Cousins was asked directly whether he believes LeBron finishes his career as a Laker, and his response was unequivocal and immediate. He doesn't think LeBron retires in Los Angeles. Instead, Cousins believes that LeBron's story will come full circle, that the narrative will complete itself in the most poetic way possible. He thinks LeBron James will finish his career in Cleveland, the city where it all began, the place that formed him, the community that watched a local kid become the greatest player on the planet. Now, before we dive deeper into what this means and why Cousins might be onto something, let's talk about why this matters so much for us as Lakers fans. The Lakers are currently in a position where they're building around young talent while simultaneously trying to maximize the remaining years of LeBron's career. That's an incredibly difficult balance to strike. You're trying to win now while also ensuring the franchise has a bright future when LeBron eventually does hang it up. The organization has made it clear that they're committed to building something sustainable, something that extends beyond any individual player, no matter how great that player might be. The reality facing the Lakers is that LeBron holds significant power over his own future. He has a no-trade clause for what could be his final season in Los Angeles, which means he controls where he plays and when he leaves. This isn't a situation where the Lakers can simply decide to move on and trade him to the highest bidder. LeBron has earned that level of autonomy through 2 decades of excellence, and he's going to exercise that power in whatever way he believes is best for his legacy and his family. That's not a criticism, that's just acknowledging the reality of who LeBron James is and the position he's earned in this league. Cousins made a compelling argument about why Cleveland makes sense for LeBron's farewell tour. Cleveland is where LeBron's story started. It's his home. It's where he experienced the lowest lows of his career and the highest highs, bringing a championship to a city that had waited 52 years for a major sports title. The Cavaliers would be the first team to hang LeBron's jersey in the rafters, and there's something profoundly meaningful about a player finishing his career where he started it. We've seen this story before in sports. Athletes wanting to retire in the place that gave them their first opportunity, wanting to say goodbye to the fans who supported them from day one. But let's talk about what this means from a pure basketball perspective, because that's what we're all really concerned about. Is Cleveland a better situation for LeBron right now than Los Angeles? The Cavaliers are a good team, a competitive team that's built a solid core of young players who could benefit from LeBron's leadership in his final season. They're well coached, they play the right way, and they would absolutely welcome LeBron back with open arms. From a competitive standpoint, LeBron would be joining a team that's already playoff caliber, which means he wouldn't be shouldering the entire burden of carrying a franchise to the postseason. That's appealing for a player in his mid-40s who's played more NBA games than anyone in history. Cousins also touched on something that's been a frustration for many of us watching the Lakers over the past few seasons. Outside of the championship run in 2020, which was obviously glorious and exactly what we hoped for when LeBron signed with Los Angeles, the team hasn't consistently been in the best position to compete at the highest level. There have been roster construction issues, injury problems, coaching changes, and strategic decisions that didn't pan out the way anyone hoped. Cousins pointed out that when you think about LeBron James, you should never think about a scenario where he doesn't make the playoffs. That's simply not acceptable for a player of his caliber, and yet it's happened during his Lakers tenure. Now, I want to be clear about something before we go any further. I'm not sitting here advocating for LeBron to leave. I'm not saying the Lakers should facilitate his departure or that we should be happy about the possibility of him finishing his career elsewhere. What I am saying is that we need to be realistic about the situation and understand all the dynamics at play. LeBron has been reluctant to reveal his retirement plans publicly. He hasn't committed to this being his final season, but he also hasn't ruled out playing beyond this year. That ambiguity is intentional. LeBron has always prioritized being in control of his own narrative, making decisions on his own timeline, and not being pressured into commitments before he's ready to make them. The Lakers organization has a massive decision to make over the next few months. Do they go all in on trying to convince LeBron to stay for one more year? Do they accept that his time in Los Angeles might be coming to an end and start planning for the post-LeBron era? Do they try to facilitate a trade that gets LeBron to Cleveland or another contender while getting some value in return? These are complex questions that don't have easy answers, and reasonable people can disagree about the best path forward. What's not debatable is that LeBron's decision will have enormous implications for this franchise's direction over the next several years. Let's also consider the business and marketing angle here, because that matters in the NBA whether we like to admit it or not. A farewell tour for LeBron James would be one of the biggest stories in sports. Every city he visits would turn into a celebration of his career, with video tributes and standing ovations and special ceremonies. The media coverage would be unprecedented. And if that farewell tour happens with Cleveland, it creates this beautiful symmetry to his career story. Kid from Akron gets drafted by his home state team, leaves to win championships elsewhere, returns to deliver Cleveland its first title in half a century, and then comes back one final time to say goodbye properly. That's a story that writes itself, and LeBron has always been acutely aware of how his career will be remembered. But here's where I want to inject some optimism into this conversation, because that's important too. Even if LeBron decides to finish his career elsewhere, that doesn't diminish what he's accomplished in Los Angeles. He brought us a championship during one of the most challenging seasons in NBA history. He broke Kareem's all-time scoring record wearing purple and gold. He's mentored young players, represented the franchise with class, and given us countless memorable moments. Lakers fans should be nothing but grateful for what LeBron has contributed to this organization, regardless of whether he retires here or elsewhere. Additionally, if LeBron does leave after this season, that could actually accelerate the Lakers' rebuilding process in some ways. The franchise would have clarity about its direction, could make decisions focused entirely on the long-term future and wouldn't be trying to balance competing priorities of winning now versus building for tomorrow. Sometimes a clean break, as painful as it might be in the moment, creates the foundation for sustainable success moving forward. Look at how the Warriors rebuilt after their dynasty core aged, or how other great franchises have navigated transitions between eras. The Lakers have always been about championship contention. That's the standard that was set by Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and all the legends who have worn this jersey. LeBron James added his name to that list with the 2020 championship, and regardless of what happens next, his place in Lakers history is secure. But the franchise can't operate based on sentiment alone. Decisions need to be made that put the organization in the best position to compete for championships, whether that's with LeBron or without him, whether that's next season or 5 seasons from now. One thing that's become increasingly clear is that LeBron values having control over his situation more than almost anything else. Throughout his career, from his decision to leave Cleveland the first time, to returning and delivering that championship, to choosing Los Angeles as his next destination, LeBron has made decisions on his own terms and in his own time. That's not going to change now. If he believes that finishing his career in Cleveland is the right move for his legacy, for his family, for his personal fulfillment, then that's what he's going to do. And honestly, as Lakers fans, we should respect that. We should appreciate the time we've had with one of the greatest players ever and understand that his story is bigger than just his time in Los Angeles. The coming weeks and months are going to be fascinating to watch. We're going to hear more speculation, more analysis, more former players and media members weighing in on what LeBron should do. There will be reports about what the Lakers are planning, about whether they're having conversations with LeBron about his future, about what other teams might be positioning themselves for a potential opportunity. All of that noise is going to surround this situation until LeBron makes a decision, and that decision might not come until the very end of the season or even into free agency. What I can tell you is that LeBron is playing at a level that suggests he's not ready to walk away. He's still averaging elite numbers, still making game-winning plays, still showing that basketball IQ and court vision that makes him special. A 24th season is absolutely within the realm of possibility, and if that season happens somewhere other than Los Angeles, it will be because LeBron decided that's what's best for him and his legacy. The Lakers will move forward because great franchises always do, and Lakers fans will support whatever direction the organization takes because that's what loyal fan bases do. So here's what I want to know from all of you watching this. Do you think LeBron should finish his career in Los Angeles, or does the idea of him retiring in Cleveland make sense to you? If he does leave, how should the Lakers approach the next phase of building this roster? What moves would you like to see the organization make to stay competitive? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I genuinely want to hear how you're processing this potential shift in LeBron's future. If you found this analysis valuable and want to stay updated on every development regarding LeBron and the Lakers, make sure you subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, because we're going to be covering every twist and turn of this story as it unfolds. Share this with your fellow Lakers fans, and let's build a community that stays informed and engaged with everything happening with our team. I'll see you in the next video with more breaking news and analysis. Let's go Lakers!